hit that subscribe button and the bell icon beside it to check out our latest videos before anyone else. Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is a camera review of the Vivo Y83. Now these are the specifications of the phone. On the rear, this phone sports a single 13 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture and a single LED flash. On the front, it is a single 8 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture. Now this is how the camera interface looks like for the rear camera, just like all the current Vivo phones. Now this is how it looks for the front-facing camera. Now let's look at some sample shots. Unlike most phones in this price segment, this phone supports Auto HDR for both the front and rear cameras. So all these pictures were taken with Auto HDR. Now while taking high dynamic range images, capturing speeds are slow, it takes like a second, images are a bit dull, colors look faded but carry good amount of details. If you can hold your phone steadily, it can improve the sharpness. Now for regular shots, capturing speeds are fast, colors are close to accurate colors, even the dynamic range is pretty good. I didn't have any issues while taking macro shots, you also get good bokeh effect and the colors really pop. On the whole, rear camera on this phone is pretty good for the price. Now coming to the portrait mode for the rear camera, this phone uses only a single camera to take portrait shots, so obviously edge detection isn't good. Background blur effect lacks intensity and images look as if they were edited, like someone changed the background. For portrait shots, I must say it does a below average job. Now coming to low light performance, these are the sample pictures. Colors are slightly to the warmer side and the images are soft, but they look nice and bright. Even the colors are close to accurate colors. On the whole, it does a pretty good job even in low lighting conditions. Now coming to selfies, this phone even supports Auto HDR and even in Auto HDR mode, this phone does take some pretty good images. Now just like all the previous Vivo phones, even this phone overexposes the subject to make you look fair. Default settings for beauty mode are a bit too aggressive and it makes my face look a bit weird in some situations. Almost all the selfies were taken in very harsh lighting conditions and this phone did a great job with color reproduction, skin tones and dynamic range. So on the whole, it does take some pretty good selfies. Now coming to portrait selfies, here are the sample shots. Portrait selfies actually look much better than the regular selfies. Color reproduction, skin tones and exposure control all look good. But as usual, edge detection isn't good. It's still better than the rear camera, but not perfect. When you zoom in, you can still see some inconsistencies, but most of the time, it's pretty good. Now coming to low light performance, selfies are soft and colors are slightly to the warmer side. Exposure control is good, selfies look bright and colors have more contrast. Beauty mode once again is working very aggressively over here. On the whole, selfies aren't that great, especially they lack sharpness, but look pretty good for the price. Now coming to video recording, here's the sample footage. This phone can record video at a maximum of 1080p and there is no electronic image stabilization or optical image stabilization, so the entire footage is shaky. Now coming to the footage itself, footage actually looks pretty good. Footage is slightly overexposed, so the colors look slightly faded. Focusing speeds are good and color reproduction is also good. I just wish it had stabilization. Now coming to low light performance, this is the sample footage. So guys, this is the footage recorded using the rear camera of the Vivo Y83 in indoor lighting conditions. And that over there is Nora, a female golden retriever. Even in low lighting conditions, it overexposes the footage, it lacks sharpness, but still, entire footage looks pretty good. Now coming to the front camera, here's the sample footage. So guys, this is the sample footage recorded using the Vivo Y83 and I'm recording this video at 1080p resolution. That's the maximum resolution supported by this phone, and I'm just trying to speak something so you can know about the noise cancellation. I don't know why I'm looking at that, well the camera is over here. So okay, I think I'm looking at the camera right now. So I'm recording this video at 1080p resolution and I'm trying Once again, it overexposes the footage to make you look fair, colors look slightly faded, but the entire footage looks decent. Most of the footage was shot in bad lighting conditions, and it still did a decent job. Now this is a sample footage recorded in low lighting conditions.
So guys, this is the footage recorded using the front-facing camera of the Vivo Y83 in low lighting indoor conditions. I'm just gonna move around in my home so you can check out how the footage quality changes depending upon the light position and how the entire footage quality is on this phone. So keep watching.
Footage looks very soft even though it was shot in 1080p. Color reproduction is good and brightness levels are also good. It is pretty decent for video calls. So guys, to conclude, cameras on this phone are really good. Even portrait selfies look pretty good and portrait shots from the rear camera are pretty bad. As a selfie-centric phone, it is definitely good. So if you are looking to buy a phone offline with a display notch and good front-facing camera, you can definitely consider this phone. So guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Looking at the sample pictures and the sample footage, what's your take on the camera performance of the Vivo Y83? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you are planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It really helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.